So in the last video, I built the cheapest custom mechanical keyboard, and surprisingly enough, it is really not bad. Check it out here if you haven't. This board really surprised me on how decent it is even without any mods. It really doesn't sound that bad for something that costs this cheap, but it doesn't mean that it can't be better. In this video, I'll be modding the cheapest custom mechanical keyboard. Let's start this off by opening the board. There are a few screws that hold the plate onto the standoffs. When I say a few, I mean an unnecessary amount. It's the normal thing that you would see on a budget Tremont board. You don't really need all these standoffs, I just cut them all off except for the main fours on each corners to hold the plate. I also cut some more of the inner plastic material to add more space for flex. I could just end it there, but I wanted to add something more. I'm gonna make it a different color. I prepped the surface with sandpaper and masked the electronic parts. I thought it could come out, but I think it's secure onto the board. So I just covered the parts with some masking tape. There you go. I wanted a striking color, so I went with this really bright yellow. I did the same treatment to the plate as well. The plate was white before, but I wanted it to match the case. They came out decent. My paint job could be better. Yellow is a very hard color to work with. A majority of them are translucent more than others, making it harder to cover up any dust or lint that falls on it. But I tried my best, and that's what mattered most. And I kinda messed up a bit with the plate. I mean, I tried to fix it, but it is still visible. Should have waited for the paint to fully cure, but since it's on the inside, you won't actually see it. Plus, the bright yellow actually distracts from it. The stock case came with foam, but it is really thin and it doesn't help with the hollowness of the board. To help with that, I'm gonna start by adding this. These are wheel weights used for balancing. This is gonna add heft to the board. It is made out of iron and I've seen people using this on their board replacing brass weights. I just line this up on the top and the middle of the board, but not the bottom, so it won't be too cramped inside. I also added some sound deadening material to remove that plastic feel of the board. I think I just added a few pounds on the board. It is heavy. Lastly, I'm using this Poron Foam sheet to absorb any harsh pings. And that is done with the case. I had some IXPE switch foam and lined the PCB up with it. This would give a poppy feel when typing. The stabilizers that come with the board were actually good after modding. It wasn't that rarely. But to fit the yellow theme, I bought these Ajazz banana stabilizers. As you can see, they are yellow to match the whole build, but they are a bit scratchy feeling. I think the ones that came with the boards are way better, but they're not yellow. In the last video, I used this KTT red wine and they are really good. I didn't loop them, yet they sound and feel more than decent. So I was planning on looping these, but I couldn't help myself from following the color theme of the build. So I went with this, looped and filmed Gateron Yellows. These are actually the ones from my very first board. Both switches are good, but I prefer the red wine better because of their stem. But if you want to get any of these for your first build, both are an acceptable choice. Really a great buy for the price. I'm reusing keycaps from the last video, the XDA Honey Milk. The set comes with extra accent pieces that have some colors. It's this golden yellow. It pairs nicely with the bright yellow of the updated board. It breaks the color between the white keycap and the yellow board, giving it more color without making it too busy looking. Now we are ready to build the board up. In the last video, I thought that these were foam, but it's actually silicone. I feel like this is one of the main things that didn't make the board sound bad. It is actually really cool that they gave this, for a board that is this cheap. I also added some O-rings on the screws to add more bounce to the blade. This actually looks good. I'm not a person to choose these colors personally. I like more mature colors, but this is just colorful. I was doubtful of the color choices when I was picking the paint, but it looks so joyful. It reminds me of the Gudetama because of the color, or a breakfast theme in general. Sunny, happy, and honey and milk. I am really happy with how the board came out. It's something different from what I personally would build, but there are a few things that I would nitpick about. First is the XDA profile keycaps. In my opinion, XDA has this talky and potentially creamy sound profile, and sometimes it takes over the whole sound profile of the board. When the board is more pingy or high pitched, it balances it out. But when it's plastic, well, that's talk on talk. It's all up to preference, but for me, it's not my style, but in no way that it sounds bad. For a matter of fact, it sounds way better than stock. It really surprises me on what you can do and what you can achieve with just a few dollars and a weekend. I think it cost me less than $20 for all the materials needed for modding the board, or even less. You can even save more if you use what you have on hand. For a board that costs less than $20 to sound like this, I think any board could be a good board if you just give some time and effort. A little bit of TLC. Even if you don't, some stock board as it is actually more than decent for daily use, or enough for some fun for the weekend. Budget boards give an opportunity for people to try out this hobby without being intimidated by the budget. It gives something fun for more people to enjoy and try their hands out, which is really cool if you want to explore and learn. I just want to say thank you so much for the subs. I never thought I could get to this point. I started this out just for fun and to document my keep journey. I feel really grateful to have you guys along for the ride with me. As a celebration, I want to give this board away to one of you. Sadly, I can't do international shipping yet, so this would be for my Malaysian peeps out there. I promise if this ever happens again, I'll try to make it international. I really want all of you to join, but for now it is local. So what you have to do to be able to win this board is to just comment stating where you are from in the comment section of this video, and make sure that you are subscribed, and I'll pick someone at random. Share this with your friends and family so that they can have a chance to win too. Again, I can't thank you enough. It has been a hell of a journey. That's all from me. Stay safe and see ya.